Chad took more notes than usual. He spoke to his attorney more than usual, and he kept his eye on the jury while Gibb was testifying. He had to know what she was going to say. A former cult pal of Chad's was also a BFF to his mistress-turned-wife, Lori Vallow. And Melanie testified at Lori's trial, too. Then and now she talked about the couple's unhinged beliefs in light souls and dark souls and zombies and portals and nutty stuff. And I want you to listen closely when the prosecutor asks her who put those ideas in Lori Vallow's head.
At some point, did Chad or Lori talk to you about the concept of light and dark?
Yes.
Do you recall who talked to you about that?
Lori shared it with me.
Did she tell you where she got that information from?
She got it from Chad.
And what did you observe in relation to Lori's portal?
It was nothing but, just a spot in her closet. I mean, it didn't look like anything. She just considered it her portal, but it looked like just a regular space.
And who told her that was a portal?
Chad told her and taught her about it.
Did you catch that? Chad taught her and told her about all that crazy stuff. Portal in your closet to wherever land. And Melanie Gibb said that Chad himself had some visions, including the very convenient and untimely death of his first wife, Tammy.
Had you ever heard or talked to Chad before about him believing Tammy was going to die?
He shared that information publicly at a few conferences that she was going to pass away at some point early. She said that Tammy became suspicious through other people, and she was concerned about that. And
was that fairly close in time to Tammy's death?
I'm not exactly sure when she first told me that. I can't remember when that was.
I want to bring in Gigi McKelvey. She's the host of the very popular podcast, Pretty Lies and Alibi. She's also awesome on this story and on these cases. So, Gigi, when Melanie Gibb showed up, I kind of thought, it's going to be the same as the stuff we heard at Lori Vallow's trial. And then I heard she got served with a subpoena during the break. What happened?
They were waiting to get back in the courtroom, and apparently a man was trying to run her down to serve this subpoena, and she refused to take it. At this point, Chad's attorney, John Pryor, comes running out of the courtroom asking where the guy is trying to serve her. Then he's followed by the prosecution, who tells John Pryor, you can't serve her a subpoena. She's on the stand. So that's kind of where it is right now. We think he wants her to come on as a defense witness, which would be very interesting.
So I get it. Like, I understand that he would want her on the stand, but I don't know that I've really heard of someone chasing down a prosecution witness in the courthouse to say you've been served. Like, why would that not have all been done in the last, I don't know, 4 years?
Right. Or at least when her testimony's over and she's crossing the street to go to her car, right there in the courtroom. I mean, a lot of people saw this and thought it was a little ridiculous to have a witness who clearly is stressed already, and then to have somebody chasing you down to give you a subpoena. But it's the Vallow Daybell case. None of it's normal.
Well, I also think, look, this is a private attorney. He's not a public defender. Maybe they don't have a whole lot of money to fly down south and serve her in person. They just said, well, we'll just wait till she gets up here. But is she the linchpin in this case? I keep really honestly just wondering, what is different between Lori Vallow's trial and Chad Daybell's trial?
Well, I attended Lori's trial in its entirety last year, and the big difference I see right now is how they've switched gears, and they're having Melanie Gibb testify to Chad being the one telling her everything, how the light-dark scales work, how the closet portals work. So that really wasn't a thing in Lori's trial. They really wanted to make sure the jury in her trial knew Lori's the mother. She allowed this to happen. With Chad, they're trying to make him sort of the religious mastermind behind the beliefs they had, which ultimately was part of the reason 4 people were murdered.
Sounds like they're deciding that, they're trying to make the jury realize that if Chad decided your number was up, your number was up. And there you have it. Hey, so keep your eye on this for us and come back and talk to us again. I always love talking to you. Thanks, Gigi.
Will do. Thanks, Ashleigh.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.